Good YouTube, it's your boy Savage, and look, we are here. Today is December 31st, and we are a couple hours away from the New Year's. We made it. Ah. Okay, so we made it to the first, which is a huge congratulations. So for the people that, think this year was a failure or don't got many things to be grateful for, even though we are able to see, smell, taste, walk freely, those little things alone, we take for granted. It might just seem little, but some people in this world are not able to even do those little things right there. So we gotta always be grateful. Okay, always be grateful because we are truly blessed. We are truly blessed, and that's something you gotta understand. Okay, so look, we are here, bro, and today's video is pretty much gonna be about self-growth, going into the New Year's with a new mindset, discipline, health, fitness, sleep, just overall being better so we can get that nice jump start and just do better overall with a healthy lifestyle. Okay, but 2025 truly been a year. It had its ups and it definitely had its downs, but that's the thing I learned. I actually learned this year, like, the down moments are the moments that actually teach you how to be successful. It's literally a blessing in disguise. So look, I'm gonna go over a couple things, my experience, and that's pretty much how this video is gonna be. But we made it, so let's just clap it up. Let's just clap it up for that, because it's hard nowadays. Everything's going up, times are just getting harder, and trust me, I understand, but we still here motivated, we still here going. So hey, grind don't stop. Okay, grind don't stop, and we are blessed. So what are we complaining about? Okay, we just got to keep going harder, pretty much. But look, 2026, big goals for sure. I have big goals for myself. It's a lot of things I want to get going 2026, and I will get going. Okay, I already got things on sticky notes around my room. They help me prepare and keep me motivated. As soon as I wake up, I'm looking at sticky notes, and it's just a way to remind me and just keep me right on the discipline side. So look, again, we are here. So hey, I'm finna go hit the gym, and I will be back. So see you then. Okay, so I am back, and I just finished leg day, which was the last workout of the year, and a nice way to kickstart right into the New Year's. Okay, so on topic, 2025. Okay, 2025 was a year, meaning it wasn't that bad, but it wasn't the best, but it was a year. And speaking for myself, of course, 2025, okay? 2025 was definitely a year of blessings, blessings to my heart, blessings to my mind, and just overall, it was a blessing because it got me to where I'm at right now. So for me, I can say I cannot complain. I really don't got really a lot to complain on because it really changed my whole mindset. It made me learn a lot about myself, like how undisciplined I was, how much, I complain a lot. A lot of negative things that I just avoided for real. And it just made me realize how much I didn't pour it back into myself. Meaning, if you know me, I usually, my whole life, I just help a lot of people, and I really didn't take time just to focus on myself and actually get to learn myself for real, because I was steady pouring in other cups instead of, my cup, even though I was always good. And just leveling up, year by year, but there was definitely a lot of time I spent stuck and in the same position because, I had that same old mindset, it wasn't getting me nowhere, to be honest. I always been a hard worker, I always knew that, and I always complained because I knew how hard I worked, but I wasn't moving up for real. If that makes sense, you know. Anywhere I go, I can say, you know, I was the best. I was the best. But why wasn't I leveling up? I didn't know. And of course, you know, it come frustrating over time, but coming back to 2025 just made me like, it just made me just do a whole setback, just rewind and just say, bam, okay, locking in spiritually with God, of course, you know, doing way better with that, and just like locking in with myself, starting over, seeing what is the wrongs and why am I still in this position. And this what made me step forward and just come better with myself. So 2025, like I said, really can't complain for real, because it was, all the negatives really was a blessing in disguise. And one thing I noticed, you know, always in the bad moments, I always bounce back. Always in the negative moments, I always bounce back and was in a better position, you know? Even if I didn't notice like the blessings back then for real, but every time I'm talking about like my whole life for real, you know. Of course, you know, I always been a workaholic, you know, I always was pushing forward and was just wanting the best and was always chasing the best for real, you know. And it's a lot of things, you know, I took for granted, and a lot of things that it took the bad times to actually learn, you know. Just like letting negative things go, letting negative people go, you know, and just appreciating the small things in life, which I can say the Young Savage took for granted for sure. But I can say I am truly blessed. And like I said, I always worked hard my whole life, you know. On my apartment, on graduation day, you know, had a car while in high school. You know, it was just a lot of things I was able to get done despite things I was going through in the moment. And the mindset, you know, I always just smiled and went through with things, you know. And just went through with things and just kept going. So I can say, you know, I never gave up. And I always was just pushing forward. But like I said, I was always working hard, but I always was just stuck in this zone right here. The question was, how can I go up? How can I just level up in life, you know? You know, time is going, you know. Went back to school. School is going amazing, of course, you know. I learned a lot, but still, financially, you know, how can I level up? What am I doing wrong? And the thing was, I really wasn't pouring in my own cup. I really wasn't respecting myself for real. And I really was just living life how you shouldn't be living life, you know? But it comes with time, you know. Some people realize these things early, and some people realize them, you know, I believe it's never a such thing as realizing too late for real. But, you know, when you realize, you will see like, wow, okay. Like, it really just make you open your eyes and just do better overall. So, like I said, 2025, it was a successful year, to be honest. If I'm just being real, it was definitely a successful year. But anyways, on topic, and just to get to the video, what am I talking about today? I'm going to be talking about jump starting and just having a different, better mindset, healthy mindset headed into 2026. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, and let's go. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is discipline over motivation. We all know what motivation is, of course. Motivation is really like a drug if you really think about it. Let's say you watch a movie or you just get inspired by something so much it make you want to do better, or just make you want to strive for greatness for the moment. keyword for the moment. We use like we just most of the times we get motivated. We get motivated and then after a week, a month, it's gone. And we find ourselves back in the same habits. You ever just realize that? New year, new me. How many times did we say new year, new me just to end up in the same position and having the same year? So as I say, discipline over motivation, okay? What is discipline? Okay, according to Google, discipline is training to develop self-control, good behavior, and the ability to achieve goals. Basically, discipline is what's going to set the structure for you to be successful to achieve the goals. Meaning, without discipline, you're pretty much just running off motivation, which usually really doesn't last a long time, to be honest. So, with discipline, which comes over time, it's a time process regardless. You're not just gonna, a lot of people just expect to level up quickly or just for things to happen so fast, but in the reality, these things take time. It takes time to, you just need to let it develop. Most of the time we just see like, okay, 3 months go by and it's like, I'm in the same position and I'm just failing. So we return back to the same old habits, and that's usually why we're just stuck. Then the end of the year come and it's like, wow, time really went by so fast and I'm not where I want to be at. And then we get to the same point, new year, new me, and it's just it just keep going over and over and over again, and that's most of the time that's really how it just work for real. So overall, patience is the key, which like for some people, success do come early, success do come fast, but for most people that's really not the case, and you just have to be patient, to be honest, and build your way up. Don't keep just thinking and expecting things just to come. You gotta really put the work in and slowly build to get to that point. So you gotta build discipline. You gotta break old habits. You gotta do things you don't want to do. You gotta be uncomfortable to become comfortable. And that's really how it is. So speaking on that, celebrate the small wins. Build consistency and stop making excuses, okay? Stop trying to make people feel bad for you. Stop expecting people to come save you. People already got a lot they got to worry about on their own. So put the work in, build discipline, and you will reach your goals. Remember, it's not about being perfect, because in the real world, in real life, no one is perfect, okay? Everyone goes through things. Everyone has their own challenges, and life isn't fair. So stop expecting life to be fair. Stop expecting things just to go your way, because it's not gonna happen at all. When life get hard, we tend to just give up and lose sight on what's important, and that's how usually we end up stuck. So if you are serious and you really want to make change, you gotta really change your mindset for one thing, and realize the most successful people are the people who are the most hungriest, the people who really want it the baddest, the people who would not let the world tear them down, and the people who would not give up. And most important, you have to believe, okay? No matter what people say, no matter how hard things look, how impossible things look, you have to believe. That's how you make it. That's how you achieve your goals. You have to believe. If you don't believe, who will? And at the end of the day, it don't matter what people think. You let people think what they think, and you just prove them wrong. And most of the time, you will. Just stay disciplined. Create a system. Figure out, how do I get to my goal? What do the things I need to do? What do I need to improve on? And just stay focused. And that's the best thing you can do. So, discipline over motivation. So make changes. Stay consistent and do not give up. And slowly, you will see results. And just to finish the topic off, always remember the end game, which is your goals. Build a solid system that you would stick to, stay consistent, and do not give up. Surround yourself around positive energy and protect your energy, and you will slowly feel better over time. Okay, next I'm gonna talk about health, which a lot of us, we don't actually take health serious, or we just don't know a lot of information about health. Okay, so literally in the United States, diabetes and obesity is the top leading cause of death. What we need to realize is our body is our temple, meaning that's something you really want to protect and take care of. Meaning if you put in junk food, all these unhealthy items, like chemicals, like we put in so much things in our body that we do not know of, and it usually lead to negative things, like very negative things. So what I'm trying to say is we just need to be cautious on what we put in our body and how much exercise we're doing, because there can be real negative effects and it can happen pretty fast no matter the age. Like, you ever just eat fast food, and of course it's good, and sometimes we don't have time to actually cook food, but at the end of the day it is processed food, and you just realize it don't keep you full because it's just empty calories for real, and it has no real nutritional value. So we got, like I said, we just got to start being cautious on what we put in our body in general, because it's just not going to end good in the long run. And that's the exercise part, meaning you don't got to be in the gym 7 days a week. You don't got to be going hardcore, lifting heavy weights. That's not what health is about. And that's not what the gym is about for real. Don't let social media fool you, and don't just like fall into the hype, okay? You can do little things like walking or just doing yoga exercises in your house. Like, you can do little things like that, but you just want to be a little active at least. Just be a little active, move around, stretch. And let's make sure we drinking at least a gallon of water a day, okay? So like I said, these little things can turn a bit negative things very fast, because the food we eat also affects our hormones, our energy, our sleep quality, our mood. It's just a lot, okay? So you want to know what you put in your body, and a lot of these things are preventable. So why not take action and just do better when it comes to your body and your health? So if you're like never focused, you just never feel motivated, never have the energy, just always feeling down, that's probably because what you are putting in your body. Your hormones play a big part in your body, okay? That's what's doing all the functioning in your body. So just do better overall, because your hormones is your control system. So if you're really serious about achieving your goals or just doing better overall in 2026, change your lifestyle, okay? Start taking your health serious. Okay, next I want to talk about money, financial decisions. So I'm pretty sure no one wants to live check by check. And in fact, I'm pretty sure most of us really, if you really think about it, we really don't have a money problem. We have a spending problem. Why? Because we don't know how to budget. Why? Because we don't have financial literacy. Why? Because we're just not educated when it comes to finance. So, like I said at the beginning of the video, we need to build a system, okay? Even if you're not educated when it comes to finance or all that stuff, you know, you should know how to budget at least, okay? And it's pretty easy to learn, because nowadays we have the internet, we have AI, we have things to teach us these things. So look, a lot of us, most of the time, we just spend money just to spend money, just because we're bored, just because we don't know what to do with our money. And that's most of the times how we end up living check by check. Stop buying unnecessary things that we don't need, and start building towards your goal. Do you got an emergency fund? Do you have 10K? Most people know. Why don't we have an emergency fund? Okay, these are things we should have. Okay, some of us, we just live check by check. We just go to work to earn a check, and that's literally not the mindset you want to have. Okay, or you will be stuck in the same position your whole life. You have to start doing your research. You have to start becoming more disciplined, and you will do better. Okay, do the research, learn about these things, start budgeting, start eliminating unnecessary purchases, stop just buying things because you're bored and you have nothing to do, stop trying to fit in, just stop all these little things and you will grow. Okay, even your goal is to get a new car, get rich, it's not gonna happen unless you have the financial discipline. Okay, so do the research. If you don't want to make that change, it's okay, but I'm telling you, life is going to be extra hard for no reason because the choices you make. And remember, time is key. Your time is everything. Okay, so you waste your time, guess what? You going to get the results. You got to start taking control of your time. Okay, don't just go to work for a paycheck. Okay, start building things for your life. Start building things for your goals. Start building things to be successful. Okay, stop just wasting your time. Like I said, don't try to fit in because most of the time you're going to be stuck in the same position. Okay, do what's best for you. Always just be yourself because that's the best. And next, as I'm talking about time, the next topic I want to talk about is cutting out dead weight and cutting out distractions. Okay, I'm talking about toxic relationships. I'm talking about scrolling all day, just being on your phone all day. I'm just talking about procrastinating and like all these things that don't do nothing for us. These are called unhealthy habits. And like I said earlier in the video about energy, that's something you want to protect. Energy is important. Your environment, you want to protect your environment because eventually your environment is what's going to shape your future. So even if you got to make the hard choices of just like cutting people off, cut them off. Okay, if they're not bringing nothing positive and it's always just something negative, go ahead and cut them off and make that change. Don't let people change your mind, or don't let people influence you of thinking a certain way, because when it come down to it, you're responsible for yourself, and you don't want to be in a position where you get old and you just like full of regrets because you knew you should have done things that you didn't do. So make change. Change is not a bad thing. Change can be actually great. Okay, you want to surround yourself around good energy, people that's going to help you grow, people that want the best for you. Make the change. Even if it's hard and I know it can be scary sometimes, don't be afraid to make change. Don't be afraid to cut negative energy off, because at the end of the day, your peace is more important. You will feel better. You will think better. You will see better. Life will get more simpler. I'm telling you this stuff. Like, you gotta take control of your life. At the end of the day, if you don't respect yourself, your life will show for it. At the end of the day, being afraid, it's just a feeling, okay? You will get over it. Don't let fear hold you back for what God got planned for you, okay? You gotta keep going, okay? You gotta, like I said, don't forget the purpose. Don't forget what your goal is. And social media, okay? Stop letting social media control your life, meaning stop comparing yourself to other people, because most of the time people only showing the best part of their life and not showing the real. Okay, stop letting social media lower your self-confidence. Okay, being the best version of yourself is the best. Okay, don't let the hype fool you. That's what most people do. At the end of the day, it's hype. Like, it's hype. Do what make you happy, and I promise you will be happy. Let's not let social media just control or make standards in your life. Like, standards is what you feel comfortable with. Okay, so like, if this like just because this the big thing, everybody doing this, don't mean you go do that. You gotta be unique. You gotta stand out, and that's how the most successful people become successful people. At the end of the day, that's just the internet. Like I say, don't fall into the hype and don't always be the person that's a follower, always following trends. Try to be yourself, okay? Because believe it or not, there's someone that wants to be just like you, and there's probably a lot of people that look up to you but just don't say it or just won't admit it. So just try to be a leader, because I'm telling you, that's the best thing you probably can do. And a lot of people nowadays, they don't know how to be their self because they're too busy worried about what others gotta say or what social media think. And that's actually crazy if you think about it. Like, you just sit back and actually think about that. Most people aren't their self because of social media, or because of what this person got to say or this person, and they tend just to be a follower, and that's what they be. That's what they be their whole life. Do you want to be that? I really don't think so. So, hey, do what you want to do, and I promise you will stand out. So just to finish off and just finish with that topic, main things to remember, okay? Don't be afraid to make change. Change isn't always bad. Cut the distractions off and let the dead weight go, because I'm telling you, it's just holding you back. And okay, lastly, to finish the video off, I just want to talk about self-growth. Okay, growth, I'm pretty sure everybody want to be in a better position than they was last year. Okay, that's probably the main reason you're watching the video. And I'm here to tell you, self-growth doesn't happen overnight. Patience is key. All these things take time. So don't get to the middle of the year and just hit the point where you feel like you're not growing and things just not going your way, so you just settle and you just forget your whole purpose. You gotta remember, these things take time, and I'm telling you, you will feel better once you realize that. Have gratitude, okay? Like I said, we have so many things that we should be grateful for and just blessed to be able to do. We gotta start taking appreciation to our small wins and little things that we are able to do, okay? Just being able to wake up in the morning, celebrate that. Why not? Okay? Like, why not celebrate that? Being able to just have a job. I know work can be stressful, the people, the managers, but guess what? You have a job. Some people don't have these things, and I'm telling you, once you lose it, you will be crying. Okay? You will be full of regret. So let's just start taking appreciation of the small things and just celebrating. Okay? Life is not always serious, okay? You're winning in little ways. So if you tired of all these things, just tired of the position you in, tired of the job, just tired overall, you gotta go out there and work. I'm telling you, respect is not given. I'm telling you this, respect is not given. Respect is earned. Make people respect you. Make people realize why you're a boss. Make people start taking you serious. You gotta make that decision first. We gotta start becoming more emotionally intelligent and start reacting off ego, because ego will keep us down. I'm telling you, ego is one deadly sin. It will keep us down forever. And we gotta we gotta stop reacting off our emotions, okay? Because I'm telling you, like, things can go wrong pretty fast, and we just gotta be better overall. So, like, stop stressing yourself out, because That's literally all you're doing. You're just stressing yourself out. And most importantly, let's start taking accountability. Let's stop blaming other people for this, for that, and start actually just being accountable for our actions. Because at the end of the day, we are responsible for ourselves. No one owes us anything, and we all have a choice to make. Okay, we don't do things off this person because they said do this, because they said do this. No, we all have a choice. Okay, so stop blaming others for your mistakes. Okay, let's just own up and take accountability. Accountability is really a strong word. Okay, like accountability means in saying, okay, let's say if I want a better life, I have to become the best version of myself. So let's just start admitting mistakes and just learning from them. That's pretty much the best thing we can do, and I'm telling you, you will grow from that. So we are at the end of the video, and before I go, I just want to pretty much sum up the whole video and just say a couple little things before I go. And don't forget to subscribe and follow, because why not? Support is free. But anyways, key things to remember and take away from the whole video in general, we are going into 2026, and we need to remember 2026, and just in general, it's not about being perfect, because no one is perfect. There's no one in this world that's perfect. I'm telling you this. No one's perfect. So don't go into New Year's trying to be perfect, okay? Because you're just going to put extra stress on yourself, and it's not needed. So let's not do that. So it's not about being perfect. It's just about improving in general. That means building better habits, better character, and just better discipline. So if you're on that journey, just know you're not alone, and there's a lot of people out here that's just finally making that change for themselves and just growing overall. So hey, we are at 2026. It's time to do better, and it's time to get straight to the grind. Okay? Like I said, respect is earned and not given. So you got to go out there and just go. We are growing, we are improving, and we are just doing better one day at a time. So stay strong, and I'm out.